Hey everybody, I'm gonna try this again. Easter eggs. Sorry about the technical difficulty a while ago. I was trying to get it to do something and didn't want to do it. And what I do on my Easter eggs is I typically do them, I base coat them white because I like a lot of white on them. And I usually use all of our lighter colored pastel type things. So I've got, or as far as our paint, I've got seafoam green, yellow, sky blue, light purple, mint green, and pink, okay? So I'm gonna see why I cannot see comments up here. Let's see, let's go here. Hey Julie, how are you? I don't know why, but my phone does not want to show me any comments, so it's just being ridiculous, but that's technology for you. I'm wondering, are y'all out of school? I guess you are. I'm hearing all kinds of things that a lot of the schools are not going to school right now. I don't blame them. I would not be going to school either if I was in the teaching profession anymore. Hopefully y'all won't have to go back till Monday. Although the weather looks really good here today. And I mean, you know, compared to where we were, I think it's pretty awesome. And so I don't know, y'all might be going back tomorrow. So I've got sky blue right here on my Easter egg. And I'm just, there's no rhyme or reason. To me, an Easter egg looks good with a couple of things if you remember, I think. I like a lot of different colors on there. And I also like a lot of white on here because that's how I do mine. I start with a white color. And I've got blue there, and I've got a total of 6 colors here. So probably I'm going to try to put one color on each egg. Oh, Monday, yeah. Hey Debbie, how are you? So glad you could join me. I can imagine that y'all need all week off because it's just, I would think even if, you know, you just don't know with the power and everything how all that's going to go, except to say, you know, it's probably not going to go well if this last week has been an indicator. So I'm just basically putting some paint on here, and I've got 6 different pastel colors that I'm putting on here, and you can do it any way you want to. I just like a lot of color on my Easter eggs and a lot of decoration and a lot of busyness. Doesn't mean you have to do it that way, but that's just kind of what I tend to do. I tend to put a lot of busyness on there. And so I got that. Now I'm going to rinse this brush out. And let's see if I can see comments. Let's see. All right. Now, there we go. Let's try this. Okay. I think I'm going to be able to see comments now. Hey Kathy, how are you? Kathy's my cousin. She's in San Antonio. And she's doing all sorts of things at her place. All kinds of art projects and gardening and all kinds of stuff, which all of it looks awesome, Kathy, by the way. So I've got this, this is my seafoam green. It's just kind of a light, I like it. The seafoam green and the sky blue and the coral, I try to use those a lot at springtime or summer, because I know that I'm probably not going to get to use them a whole lot. During fall, I don't use them a lot, or Christmas or Thanksgiving. So I like to use those in springtime. It just kind of makes you feel like, oh, okay, warm weather, hopefully. Which y'all know, living here, well, I always have, y'all might not have. I've always complained about how hot it is, and y'all know it's just, it's sometimes ridiculously hot. But I'm kind of thinking, maybe I shouldn't be complaining about that anymore. Maybe I should just keep my mouth shut, y'all. It's like, okay, just after all the snow or whatever we had, sleet, really, I think everything was so annoying, is just being without power and water, you know. It's one thing for the weather to keep you cooped up at home. It's a whole other thing for the weather to keep you cooped up at home with no utilities. So I think we can all agree that our modern day conveniences were greatly missed this week. I don't think we got snow, Kathy. I think we probably got, you know, some light flurries here and there. I mean, certainly nothing that you can look out the window and say, okay, the snow's coming down a little bit. Then you go outside and it's all ice, you know. So I don't know. I was more worried about trying to get electricity on. And Kathy and I have a cousin that's in West Columbia, and I think she said she went 50-something hours without power. So There was a lot of people that went a lot worse than what we had it. We really had about 24 hours of no power, and then about 24 hours really of no water. And neither one are fun, but you know, we did end up finally getting our hands on our old generator and got it going. And then about 2 hours after that, we got power back. So, you know, that's just the way it is. But I'm kind of hoping all that's behind us. I don't know. I'm going to watch the news tonight. I don't know if they're still talking about rolling blackouts or not. I'm not real sure about that. I know that, you know, that's part of what they said that was going on, although it seemed like some people had no blackouts, and then other people had, we know a guy in Alvin, he went 5 days with no power. And it's like, that's just not good. That's just not good. Okay, so I've got, as you can tell, I'm just kind of washing that brush out. And ever so often, I'm just kind of coming over here and putting another color on there. That's really all I'm doing. Just putting another color on there. I went over the line a little bit with that. So I think Easter always makes me think about springtime and a little bit warmer weather, which is a good thing, y'all, because I don't know if I could take much more of this. I think they said light freeze light freeze tonight and tomorrow night, and then we're kind of back up into the 60s. I think next week even into the 70s. So, but hey, what are you gonna do? It's Mother Nature. She does what she wants, and then we try to find a way to live with it. It's kind of the way that goes. She does what she wants, and we find a way to live with it or not. Okay, so I'm gonna put the yellow down, and now I think I'm gonna go and do, I'm gonna go do some pink, okay? This is let's see, what number is this, y'all? It is our number 25 light pink. I'm gonna put some stuff in here, and I'm just gonna kind of come up and down, following that CNC line. That's the good thing about etched blanks, that you can just kind of paint by number. Now, the other thing about eggs is if you don't like the designs that we have, super cool, just do your own thing on the back. We put, you know, we have a hole there where you're gonna have to hammer in that cold roll steel, but you can take the labels off the back and just do your own design. And we see a lot of folks do that too. So we try to put a design on there to give you something to go by if you want that, because so many people say that they do. But if you don't, just turn it over and go do something else, you know, whatever it is you think you want to do. Now I think on this one, I might do, let's come here. Y'all can see I'm kind of moving this to where I feel like I get a little bit better advantage on where and how I want to paint it. So I don't have a very big brush when I'm doing this because the eggs are small to begin with. They're not a real huge item, but more importantly, they have so much decoration and design on them. You don't ever get much space to put a whole lot of paint at one time or using one big brush. So this is just a round number 7 brush that I use. And I will just kind of put some paint on there and do it that way. And notice I'm not trying to be like any certain rhyme or reason. I'm just putting color on there is all I'm doing. Hey Connie, hey Pam, how are y'all doing? So I tell you, it is pretty outside compared to what it has been, you know, as far as that goes. So that's good. I don't see any rain. I don't really see a lot of sun, but I don't see a whole lot of clouds either. It's kind of one of those days. So I've got my light purple, and I think what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to go ahead, and these are like little petals of a flower, if you will. I'm going to go ahead and do that over here on that. Okay. And I could do these petals in all different colors. In other words, make all 3 flowers, if you will, a separate color scheme, but I don't care for that. Number one, these eggs are so busy. There's lots and lots going on here anyway. And if I make all of these flowers different colors, I don't think it looks good. It almost looks like wow, just kind of crazy. But if you really want something more busy than what I got going on here, you could definitely do these flowers all different colors. I kind of keep them the same. And then I will do the middle probably in some other color. But as far as the petals, all of the petals will be the same color on all three. Kathy, you said you got another 3 inches today? Ooh. Hey Janet, how are you? I don't know about that, but Kathy's in San Antonio, so she's further north than where we're at. And then of course I know we have some of you guys are in Ohio. Can't imagine how cold it is. Some of y'all that are following us are in Chicago, and I was like, I know Chicago's cold, but makes me look forward to springtime. I looked on the calendar. I think we're about maybe a little less than a month away from daylight savings time changing over. Woohoo, woohoo. That's kind of good. I don't like it when it gets dark like at 5:30. That's too much for me. I don't care for that. So I think what I'm gonna do on my purple, I'm gonna come over here and make this guy right here purple. And notice I didn't start off with any dark colors because I typically save the dark shading colors for my outlining. I won't do any shading on these eggs because there's just not enough space for a lot of shading. Doesn't mean you couldn't do some, but my hand is so heavy, I start shading, it's gonna cover up everything. And then it all kind of looks like a dark blob. And the whole point, I think a lot of times of Easter eggs is to make them look kind of light and springy, and yet very, very colorful. So I'm going to leave, I won't be doing any shading. You'll see me picking up a script liner here in just a bit. So far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors there. What color am I missing? Oh, missing mint green. So let's do some mint green. Yeah, Trisha says Chicago is cold. I am so glad I have power back. We got it back late last night, Jennifer. And I'll tell you what, I really, you know, I tried not to get down about it, you know, because I didn't have pipes that were bursting, and I know a lot of people who did. So I was like, okay, hey, it could be 20 times worse, which y'all know it could always be worse. That's just part of how life operates. And, but at the same time, what I noticed is just, it was so much of my normal routine was disrupted. And I know y'all, I think a lot of people had to feel that way. And I don't know, y'all, that was what was just kind of like, I was like, ugh, I don't really like this. This is not what I signed up for. And, you know, it made me think about several things. The first thing is how, I think we all are, but I'm such a creature of habit. You know, I want to take my shower at a certain time and have the water a certain temperature and things like that. And that's just a real luxury sometimes. And you miss that when you, or I did. I was really, really missing that when I didn't have it. And it's like, So that was one thing, just missing my normal routine and having my norm back just kind of made me go, ugh, I'm not really feeling this. But then I think for me, I'm one of those people that I'm used to being outside a lot because we work outside sometimes, you know, not all the time, but you know, I'm outside, and then I would get vitamin D and all of that and be outside. And you don't get that when you're holed up at home. And then you don't have any power, so you really can't, I couldn't really do a whole lot. And so then it's that double whammy about, well, I can't do a whole lot, so I'm going to sit here and think about the fact that I can't do a whole lot. it's like, you know. So I think it's a lot of different things that people are dealing with whenever you have issues like that. And there's a lot of people here in Texas, you know, just very upset. And I think in some ways rightfully so, that, you know, that this happened in the first place, that we seem to be so ill prepared. So lots of angst going on. And so whenever the power came back on this morning, I typically use the morning to do a lot of computer work. So I hadn't been doing that. So I got on the computer and got a bunch of stuff done. And but that's not my favorite thing to do by any stretch of the imagination. Now, if you notice, I have a lot of, as I said, I started out with 2 coats of white on here. And if you notice, I have a lot of white on here. I like that look, but if you want a more, you don't care for that, this is kind of almost like a pastel-y kind of thing. And if you don't like that, then you definitely could start with the yellow and paint a yellow background. You could paint a light pink. The only thing I will say is if you do start off like with something like this, a number 7 teal is your background, you're gonna have a hard time when you start outlining. That whole egg is gonna get real dark because you're gonna have to get a darker color than this to outline. So I do tend to stick with the lighter colors for my base coats. I mean, for my base colors on eggs. So that's just kind of the way I do it. If you want darker colors, then you're gonna have to highlight them or outline them in white or something like that. And if not, then the whole egg gets really dark. And if that's the look you're going for, then that's cool. That's good. But I'm looking at this and there's still too much white. So let's do this. That's the cool thing about painting. We're gonna come in here. Now, if you look at this, there's still a lot of white on this. So what I'm gonna do is I've got sky blue right up here, y'all, but I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna put some sky blue in here. So what I would do is just paint your egg as you start, and then each layer that you paint and get painted on there, you can kind of look at it and go, oh yeah, that's the look I like, or just keep putting more color to it. If you know, if it's in my case, I feel like there's just too much white on here, then I'm going to put some more color on it. And I just am using this little round brush. It's a number 7, and I'm just kind of filling in that space right there. So I like that, and I'm gonna come over here, and I think, because I've got lime green and seafoam green, we're gonna do something, and I've got yellow, so I don't want any of those colors right quick here. And I really don't want purple because I got so much purple on there. So let's do this. I'm washing out that brush, and I think what I'm gonna do, this is kind of a difficult way to do it. I should have done this the other way, as in done the pink first, but you know, hey, nothing like having to come back and do it a different way. And if I would have put pink down first, I would have been better off because I could have just come in there, let the pink dry, and then come in there and put those dots on top. But hey, today's the day we're not gonna do things the easy way. Well, I didn't say, but I was on the phone with tech support for an hour before I got on this live, so you know, I wasn't kind of, sometimes before I go live, I get myself centered and kind of figure out my color schemes and all of that. And I didn't do that today because I really didn't have time. So that's part of why I'm kind of like a little bit going, should have done this first. But you know, I think I've told a lot of y'all, if y'all have watched, I spend a lot of time on tech support in the last year, mainly because I'm just trying to learn. And I have Apple devices, an Apple phone, you know, and an Apple computer, and I love them, and I have to almost have them for all of the photos and graphics that we do. But man, sometimes when you call Apple, they're really on it, and they can walk you right through what you know. And then today, I don't know if it's just the girl didn't know or what the deal was, but she just could not help me. She tried, but you know, it just wasn't in the cards. So, you know, lesson learned. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna put some pink, like so. And I'm gonna go ahead and script liner this for you guys in the video just so y'all can see it. It is gonna be a little bit messy because this paint is still so wet, but I'm gonna try to get away with it anyway. Normally, if this wasn't a video, I would stop at this point and just let everything dry. Now, you could even put another color up here if you felt like there was still too much white on here. Hey Jane, how are you? I'm so glad you could join me. No, you don't have to. So here's what I'm gonna do. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start now with my, you know, almost not every color, but almost every color that we have has a light and a dark. So I'm going to start with the purple, and I'm just going to put a little bit of paint in here, and I'm gonna put a little bit of water. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And I'm gonna pick up my script liner, and I'm gonna start script linering these. So, let's do it this way. Y'all, and part of why I've been feeling kind of out of sorts, other than the weather and everything that's happened, is my hair is in like a, I don't know, not a good situation. But at 4 o'clock today, I'm gonna go get my hair fixed. So when I say fixed, I mean cut and colored. So I think I'll feel a little bit better, a little more normal when I get my hair kind of going the way it's supposed to go. And I don't know if y'all are like this, but sometimes if my hair's all jacked up or I feel like it is, I'm not feeling it. Life ain't too good. So today I will be going and doing that. And then what I would do is I'd probably come in here and just do a few dotted lines right there. And you can see just those dotted lines kind of give it a little bit more of a definition. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to take this brush and I'm just going to kind of go around, like so. And I'll do that center here in a little bit after this other stuff is dried a little bit. Like so. Now Ashley is normally, she was supposed to be on Monday, but y'all know she was really without power for a long time. So she will be coming on tomorrow at 2, and instead of doing the eggs, she's going to do the wheelbarrow of eggs tomorrow at 2, which is what she didn't get done on Monday. But luckily she's got power back and all that good stuff. So she'll be on tomorrow at 2. I'm gonna rinse this brush out. I'm going to pick up a little bit of teal, and I think on the teal, yeah, I think that's good. I'm going to use that right over here on my sky blue. I just happen to like the sky blue and the teal combination. So you're just hibernating, waiting for the spring. Ooh, I know that's right. And you know, I kind of, probably a lot of us feel that way. I want spring and I want normalcy. I don't know which one I want the most, y'all. It's like, I want both of them. I'll take both of them in full serving, please. You know, normalcy for my routine and everything just kind of go back to normal, you know, and spring for the good weather. And after last year, I was kind of hoping 2021 was just going to be quite calm. But so far, not so much. But we've also had a lot of remodeling projects going on around here, so that has not helped. But we're almost done with the store remodeling. We have maybe a week to go, and it will be done. It will be done. But yeah, so I'm taking that teal and I'm just kind of outlining that sky blue with the teal. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing up here. You don't feel like you have to use this color. You can use any color you want. But it's just a color that I like, the combination. But Ashley will do next month, she's going to do eggs, kind of like I'm doing, not this pattern. And then Victoria is going to do eggs. So we're going to have all kinds of egg tutorials where you get a little bit of different twist and take on them. And you can tell right there it's a little bit wet, so I'm going to have to come in tomorrow or later on today. I'm going to come up here and I'll have to fix this little bobo later on right there, okay? And then I would just do something like that. And I think for that seafoam green and that mint green, we're going to try, I don't know if I'm going to like this. I don't want to do dark shading green because I think that'll be too dark. Ashley says egg cart tomorrow. Yep, egg cart. I'm going to take some Christmas green. I'll put some water in here. And I'm going to stir, stir, stir. And then I think I'm going to use this Christmas green. It's a little bit gummy. Let me put some more water in it. I'm going to use the Christmas green to outline. Use teal on the seafoam green? Okay, Ashley says use teal. Let me try that. I had that out Let's try that. That's on there. It is a really pretty, pretty color. That is on the mint green, but I still like that. Okay. So I'll come over here. This is the seafoam green right here that I have right on this little, I guess you could call it almost like a little flower decoration, whatever you want to call it. And then I'll do this. Yeah, something like that. Yes. All right, so I've got too much paint right here. I'm gonna spread that out a little bit. And then I'll come over here and match it, make it a little bit thicker right here. Now I do think I need, looking at this, I'm going to have to do a little bit of shading yellow. All right, shading yellow it is. And you're not gonna use a lot of paint. You do like the teal on the mint green? Yeah, I do too. I didn't think I would actually, but you said that and I thought, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna just kind of come in here, and that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just making a line, making a kind of a wide line there. And then I'm just gonna do some dashes. Very, very light. Very, very light, there, okay. And on the yellow, I'm going to, over here, I was gonna try to outline that, but I don't trust myself. So here's what I'm gonna do. Just kind of giving it a little bit different look than if I didn't do anything right there. Okay, now I do want to do some shading pink. This is a real pretty color, I think. Oh, I already have some out. Okay, shading pink. I'm gonna put a little bit of water with it. And I'm gonna do this. There we go. Let's do a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. I think y'all it's supposed to be in the 60s on Sunday. Yay! Texas weather. You just don't know. You just don't know. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to outline my light pink swirly line. I'm going to outline it like so. And then when you can see, I start getting all this color on here. The dark, I mean the base color of the light base color, and then of course the shading color. It starts to look, to me, really good. Almost like that, what you think of as that Easter look. That pastel, but kind of busy. Lots and lots of color on here. Yes, I think I'm gonna like it, y'all. And then I would probably do this. Something like that, and I'm gonna come over here and do this. And that paint is just still a little bit wet. But we're gonna pretend that it's not. Kathy said, quarter-size snow falling. I need a video. What's wrong with this? Yeah, because we don't really get snow here that often. So you know, everybody, especially nowadays with cameras, everybody's gonna video stuff and take photos. I saw a lot of people, folks posting the kids playing outside, which I thought was so adorable. So many of them playing outside in the snow, you know. You do it for as long as you can take the wet. Okay, now, I do think we're gonna have to do something with this guy. So I'm gonna bring I'm gonna do the teal, I think. All right, I'm gonna pick up the teal. There's just, this seems too white and too plain. And I'm just kind of going up and down. And up and down and up and down. point to point, or end to end, if you will, right here. Okay. To come over here and match that. There we go. And I'm almost done with my 2 eggs. And Ashley will show you hers. She's going to do hers in the month of March. We moved those. They were going to be tomorrow. But she's going to do the card of eggs instead. And then Miss Victoria will be doing, I think on Sunday, she'll be doing eggs. So we'll give you all sorts of different looks. And they'll all be different, you know, as far as that goes. Which is good, I think. All right, I'm going to rinse this brush out. I'm going to pick up this orange. I'm sorry, shading yellow. No, this actually is orange, isn't it? Okay. I was thinking it was shading yellow, but it is the orange. It is the shading orange. That's okay. All right, so we got that. Hey, Terry, how are you? Thank you so much. I think Easter eggs are just super awesome because they're so colorful. There's no right or wrong. You can do almost anything. They're still going to look good. Just put some, main thing is I think just put some color on there. That's the main thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, even though I started with a white base coat, I still am going to do white highlights. Y'all know that that's just something we always do. So Terry, I'm so glad you could join me. I was seeing your stuff on Facebook. You're kind of like us over this weather. Over it, over it, over it. But today it looks, oh y'all, the sun's outside. That's awesome. I don't think I've seen the sun in days. And days and days and days. Even though I have a lot of white on here, I'm still going to put white on here. Okay? I still am a fan of highlighting. I probably always will be. I ain't never going to give that up, y'all. Okay. So just coming in here and making some white brush strokes. I still need to do something to that green, but I'm leaving it alone, and I got a bobo right there, until that dries just a little bit. And I'm just kind of making a little bit of a shape, the shape of the petals, all I'm doing. And I can tell y'all the first sunny day that we have that's really sunny, I shall be outside. Who knows if I'll be working, but I will be outside. I'll be outside wanting to rest and stuff, and Bruce will come along and give me a chore or a job, I'm sure. Telling me, get to work. I gotta fix this bobo, y'all. I'm gonna fix that here in just a minute. I got a bobo. I don't know if y'all ever get bobos, but I got a bobo. All right, we're gonna, and in here in the middle, I'm just gonna put a white dot. I got a lot of paint on here, y'all. Okay. So I'll come over here and I'll just kind of give it a swipe there, and I'll probably do some dashes here. Don't have to be perfect, not going for perfection. Okay, and then I'll do this. And just, I don't know if you remember, before I outlined this, and certainly before I put the white highlights, this was looking pretty bland. And I'm just giving it a little bit of a decoration. There's all I'm doing. And probably another dash here. And then I'll probably do this. All right, I think I'm liking them except for this part. So let's figure this out. I'm gonna put trying to decide. Let's try this. Still got to put more water in here. I want to put something different on these center of the petals of the flowers. So here's what I'm going to do. Stir it over here. Okay. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do it like this. And that's still kind of wet, so I'm trying very hard to have a very light hand, okay? But you can kind of see by looking at that, how I've got this Christmas green on here, and it's really not like any other color, but I like that. I think I like that. The trick is when you get in here, you should let this purple, dark purple, shading purple, you should let that dry. But of course, when do I ever do anything I'm supposed to do? I really want to put this in there so y'all can kind of see what that Christmas green is going to look like, in case you want to do it or not. I think it's a good choice. It's not a big area, and it's very different color than anything else I have on here. So I think I'm going to like it for those reasons. Not necessarily because I use Christmas green a lot on Easter, but just because it gives me a little bit different color. Now I'm going to rinse out. I got a little bobo right here. I'm going to fix that. How does your Painters Club, and when is it open? Okay, that's a good question. So Painters Club is what you're in right now. It's a free group. Anybody can join. All you have to do is just say you want to join and send us a request, and we approve it. And then you just kind of come in here and hang out with us. And the thing about the Painters Club is you just kind of come and go and look and see what you like. And we have a lot of people who follow us on Painters Club, and they, you know, buy blanks and all of that. And you get access to all of our tutorials on Facebook. If you're interested in the Academy is different. It's another Facebook group, a separate one. But we open the doors usually every 3 months on that. I don't think we're going to get to open in March because we are running behind. That's normally when we would open. It's a paid membership. You get 15% off your blanks. You get access to another website called yardartacademy.com. And on yardartacademy.com, I think there's about 40 tutorials in there that the Painters Club doesn't have access to. And those are kind of behind the scenes where we teach you how to use a jigsaw and cut your own blanks if you don't want to buy ours. We have all sorts of stuff in there about how to stake your stuff, how to choose a color palette, how to set up your workstation, your paint stations if you want to do multiples and things like that. So Yard Art Academy is a little bit more about if you want that 15% off your blanks, if you want access to a little bit more information than just watching us paint on a video. I think there's 38 or 42, I can't remember, videos at yardartacademy.com. But I will be, whenever we are ready to open up Yard Art Academy, we will be advertising that. So, you know, hang out with us and just follow us and you'll see all that come up. I don't think we're going to be ready in March just because we're really behind, or I'm behind, and I'm the one who kind of does that. And we only open up the Academy every so often because there is quite a bit of work behind doing all of that. But thanks for asking, and hopefully that answered your question. Hey Jen, how are you? I hope you're doing good. I painted Easter eggs today, and I'm pretty happy with them. I just started with these 6 light colors that I had right here, and you can put them on in any sort of way. I mean, you know, they're just the more light pastel colors, and I laid those down as my base. I started with 2 coats of white on my whole egg, and then I laid down these colors on right where you see them. And then I used these shading colors to outline. I didn't actually shade anything, okay? And the reason I didn't shade anything on these eggs is there's just a small area. I don't have a lot of room to shade. So I just base coated using a flat tip brush on all my colors, and then using the script liner, I outlined using the darker, or those colors. So here you go is one egg, and I think he's really cute. And it's really not that much work. You know, you just kind of get into the groove and do it. And you can absolutely, this is one way. Ashley's gonna be doing some eggs. It's a different pattern, but she'll show you hers. Victoria on Sunday night's gonna be doing some eggs. She'll show you hers. So we'll kind of give you guys a look at all sorts of different Easter eggs. And that'll just kind of give you an idea. These are what my eggs look like. And there's not that much to them. Some base coat twice than white. Then lay your colors down, your light pastel colors, pick up your script liner and outline them in your shading colors. That was pretty much it. So thank y'all for watching. Ashley said these are cute. Thank you, Ash. And Ashley will be on tomorrow. She'll be here at 2 o'clock, and she will be doing the cart of eggs. And the eggs that she was scheduled to do tomorrow, which got kicked back because we were out of power, she'll actually do those, I think, the first week of March. I did post a updated February calendar in the announcements of Painters Club and in the announcements of Yard Art Academy, both Facebook groups. I did that. She said, Jane says it's really cute. Y'all make it look so easy. It takes me so long. Isn't that the truth? I feel that way, Jane, when I'm trying to learn technology. Sometimes I'm like, if I just had a paintbrush in my hand, I could be going lickety-split. So I feel you. Maybe not necessarily about painting, but I do feel you when it comes to learning different things. And y'all, to have Facebook groups, we now have 2 groups. And of course, we have the main business page. And of course, we have Yard Art Academy. And we have 2 ladies now that started working with us behind the scenes, trying to educate us about what we should be doing. And y'all, these ladies, they have their work cut out for us, because sometimes I just feel like we're just nothing but a bunch of hillbillies, because they ask me questions and I'm like, I don't know really how to answer, because I'm not sure if I know what they're asking. I don't know if y'all have ever felt that way, but when somebody asks you something and you don't want to sound dumb, which nobody ever wants to sound dumb, but when you're sitting there saying, well, what does that question really mean? So sometimes my answer is, I'm not sure if I did that, but if I did it, maybe I wasn't supposed to. And they're like, So I'm with you, Jane. Not about painting, but about technology. I'm with you. And hope you guys have a good afternoon. Ashley will be here tomorrow at 2. Victoria will be here at 7. And y'all take care. Bye-bye.